The Summer Aside Tempest Trials is here to accompany our first summer banner. As usual, if you score 50,000 points, you can earn up to 42 orbs, 11,000 feathers, and 80 sacred coins. For this month, you can earn ephemeris 6 divine codes and 1 wind blessing for legendary myrrh. For sacred seals, we have 2 newcomers in attack and defense catch and infantry hexblade. The reward unit for this time is going to be Summer Elincia, and you can earn a 4-stand 5-star copy. We'll talk about her more in just a bit. First up, let's discuss our 2 new Sacred Seals. First is Attack and Defense Catch 3. At start of combat, if foe's HP is 100% or has a penalty active on them, you get +5 attack and defense during combat. This is our first catch Sacred Seal, and they are stat boosters that don't require any specific positioning, which is good. They also are only usable by flyers and cavaliers. Unfortunately, the tier 3 catch skills do not have the bonus +2 condition. If the enemy is full HP and they have a debuff on them, sadly you still only get +5 attack and defense. For what it's worth, catch skills are generally solid because you run into full health enemies very often, so they're almost always active. You do not want to use them with out of combat damage like Savage Blow or Duma. If you do, then you're going to need penalties and debuffs if you want those stats. Despite not really being as powerful as solos or forms potentially, I think the flexible positioning makes catch a good Sacred Seal. If you got enough coins, I do think they are definitely worth upgrading. Next up, we have Infantry Hexblade 3. If adjacent infantry allies use sword, lances, axes, bows, or daggers, grant them +2 attack and speed and adaptive damage. Does not affect AoE specials though. So, as the name suggests, Infantry Hexblade is for infantry only, but only for infantry mages. Think of it like an infantry mage is imbuing their ally's weapon with magic. Weapons only though, so no dragons or beast. Infantry Hexblade is only on Hubert or Halloween Zane. It's a very rare C skill, and adaptive damage is not exactly common to come across either. The main drawback is this is a spur buff, so you're going to need to stand right next to your ally to pass the effects on. It is more of a defensive tool, but you can't spread it out like dries. As a Sacred Seal, I wouldn't say Infantry Hexblade has more value since the C slot is generally for support buffs anyway. A positive for it as a Sacred Seal is if you want to run another support C skill while giving allies adaptive damage. There aren't really a ton of support based mages, but Gatekeeper is a prime example. His weapon grants +5 attack and speed, so you get more stats for his allies, and in the C slot he could run something like Kanto Control. An example use case for this build could be a super high defense infantry melee brawler in front. You slap Gatekeeper behind them, and then behind that you put your far safe army unit. If enemy melee attackers have high defense, Infantry Hexblade could allow your infantry frontline to target their lower res stat. I do think this will still be a niche Sacred Seal, but if more support mages come out, then keep it in mind.
I've never gone swimming in tropical waters before. What a wonderful new experience. Do you think this swimsuit looks alright on me? Is it ostentatious?
As for our reward unit, Summer Elincia is here. Unfortunately, because Claude got so much extra benefits despite being the 4-star focus, I think Elincia had to take the free-to-play penalty a bit harder. She's definitely not bad though. For one, she's our first free flying blue archer. We only have 2 other blue archers in the whole game, and we only got 1 free-to-play heroic Grail flying archer in general. It's a very rare class type, so Elincia could fill a niche for some team building. For stats, she has 38 HP, 36 attack, 40 speed, 25 defense, and 33 res. She will have speed and defense super boons. You want the extra speed if you keep her weapon, but you could run the defense super boon if you wanted a more balanced defense. Flying archers don't exactly excel in defensive capabilities though, so I do recommend using Elincia offensively. This is further encouraged with her weapon, the Whitecap Bow Plus. This is an inheritable bow, but it's actually quite good, although you're going to have to work for its best benefits. It has 12 might, and at start of combat, if unit has more than 25% HP, grants +5 attack and speed, and if you're initiating with 10 or more speed than the foe, you get brave attacks. So, Whitecap Bow is similar to Dimitri's not arid bar axe in that you need to win a speed check to have brave hits. You have a lot of extra attack over a regular brave bow, but 10 or more speed is a lot, at least against fast units in general. I do want to do a little comparison with Whitecap Bow and the stronger Brave Bow, Ninja Yumi Plus. First off, Whitecap Bow is refinable and Ninja Yumi is not. If you refine for +2 speed and include the attack and speed boost, Whitecap basically has 17 might with +7 extra speed. Ninja Yumi has 7 might with a bonus 4 true damage if you're faster by 8 or more. We can translate that into 11 might, and it does reduce your defense and res. At first, Whitecap Bow seems way better than Ninja Yumi, and if you're attacking units who you outspeed easily, then yes, it is the stronger weapon. You get 2 attacks to use before the enemy can hit back. For Ninja Yumi, while it's weaker, it's consistent. You always get the brave hits no matter what, which means it's the better weapon into faster enemies. This can be useful if said faster enemies are also squishier. Ninja Yumi can just 2-tap them, while Whitecap Bow might fail the speed check and you only get 1 arrow. Ninja Yumi and the regular Brave Bow are pure player phase weapons with consistent performance. As for Whitecap Bow, it does provide the attack and speed boost for the enemy phase, but its HP condition may limit your skill options, for example, Desperation. Ninja Yumi can just quad attack via Desperation on 1 HP just fine. Overall, Whitecap is a good weapon if you want to tackle sturdier foes. It's also on a free unit, whereas Ninja Yumi is 5-star exclusive and seasonal. For the rest of our base kit, Elincia does not get a unique passive. Maybe one day she'll get that legendary ult. She has drawback for her assist skill, and this can proc attack and speed link 3 for +6 attack and speed field boss. Link B skills are not the craziest skills, but attack and speed link is extremely rare only on seasonal units. It would be welcome on someone like legendary Lucina with her new buffs. For her other skill, Elincia has attack and speed bond 3, +5 attack and speed when next to an ally. Well, it gives us the stats we want for Whitecap, but it limits positioning, and attack and speed bond did just get demoted into the summoning pool thanks to Kent. It can work with flyer mobility skills, but I don't think many are going to keep it. Overall, it's clear Elincia has to take the free-to-play hit after the absurd summer banner, but her stats and weapon are worth using. For merging, Elincia is going to get +1 HP, speed, and res for the neutral nature. If you plan to heavily invest in her, I highly suggest grabbing the speed super boon. Whitecap Bow needs a lot of speed to stay consistent. In terms of free-to-play comparisons, we basically got Spring Loki, and that's it. She is colorless, but Loki is the only other free flying archer so far. As for summonable blue flyers, our flying archers, we have Summer Lin and Dancer Quan. Lin is the closest comparison, and while her deep blue bow isn't that crazy besides having armor effectiveness, she is very close to being the next seasonal refine. I think there are only 2 or 3 other units ahead, but definitely very soon. Of course, Summer Lin is 5 stars only. Elincia can be gotten with heroic grails. No matter what happens, Elincia fills a pretty rare class type niche for free options. For playstyle and builds, it's quite clear that Summer Elincia will be an offensive initiator. Whitecap Bow should be treated like a brave bow, except you also need speed. As such, just stack more attack and speed. Speed fine, Swift Sparrow, 10 speed solo, form, bond, or life and death. While attack and speed bond is fine, I just don't think it's the best, and Swift Sparrow 2 has gotten a lot easier to get. You could do double life and death since you don't really want to get hit regardless, but Elincia does have some res if you want to take a mage hit. For attack and speed link, it's fine to keep, but obviously someone else has to reposition Elincia first if you want to use the buffs in the same turn. There aren't a ton of B skills, so it's fine to keep. Desperation is an option, but you would have to get under 75% HP and stay above 25%. Definitely no Fury this time. Other interesting B skills are Flyer Formation or Aerobatics. If you want to keep attack and speed bond, those skills do synergize with it. For specials, Elincia doesn't get accelerated specials like the banner units, so you can't proc Moonbow in 2 hits. You may want to just go with Luna. For C skills, if you want self-buffing, attack and speed Oath is on Ninja Shamir, or you're going to have to settle for something like Odd Speed Wave. If you got Dancer Support, Savage Blow or Defense Smoke works as well. For those looking to go all in on Summer Elincia and the Whitecap Bow, now is a good time to hunt for fodder. Basically, you just want to stack more damage and more speed, and Summer Elincia's best skills are available right now on current banner units. For example, time speed catch 4 from Summer Dimitri, speed and defense Rain from Claude, and speed and defense Far Trace from the new Ascended Florina. These 3 skills all boost your damage and your speed, which is really all we want for Whitecap Bow. Add your Sacred Seal of choice and build is done. This is a very simplistic weapon in playstyle since it's basically a brave weapon. The main benefit of Whitecap is that you don't need Desperation to get 2 hits with full damage. If you win the speed check, you attack twice immediately and quad potential's still there. However, Elincia isn't Claude, and the flying archers barely have any defensive tools. If your 2 hits don't get the job done, well, you're probably dead. You could try Sturdy Impact or attack debuffs, but then Elincia may not win speed checks against decently quick enemies, or you lose out on damage. Additionally, tanks probably will prevent her follow-up attack for a quad, since Elincia can't get no follow-up either. I would just go all in on finishing the job in 2 shots. Some other notes, if you want to use Deadeye, it still requires more than 2 attacks, even with Heavy Blade. Flyers also can't use Flashing Blade. For C skills, there are some alternatives. Speed and Defense Menace from Summer Dimitri serves the same purpose for Elincia, 12 speed advantage to get the brave hits. If you want some mixed phase power, Speed Smoke 4 provides dodge, but its speed stat advantages do not help Whitecap unless you use a dancer. There is Wind or Water Sweep, but they only matter if you do not expect to kill the target, and you won't be quadding ever. It's fine for if you prefer survivability for something like a defense team. Fire Sweep Bow also works in this situation, but Whitecap provides better stats. Overall, very interesting Tempest Trials. Our two Sacred Seals are both new and have their uses. Taking Defense Catch can be used if you worry about positioning, and Infantry Hexblade does provide a niche, although it's probably better for a supportive mage and a more defensive team. As for Summer Elincia, she's the first free blue flying archer, and only our second free flying archer in general. With her good attack and speed stats, Elincia will have a niche to fill, and Whitecap Bow is a fun aggressive weapon. It grants +5 attack and speed, which is just good in general, but it's the pseudo brave condition that really stands out for it. To be consistent against faster foes, you're going to need to go all in on speed, but against slower tanks, it will give you that immediate 2-tap with some okay damage. Like brave weapons in general, Whitecap Bow has a simplistic offensive game plan. For Elincia, if you want to invest hard into her with the Whitecap, 3 of her best skills are available right now. Good luck summoning if you do chase for them. That's all I got for this video, and have fun with the summer summonings. Before long, Summer Banner number 2 is going to be upon us, so good luck saving. I need to go grab more orbs before I try my luck, so time to farm the Tempest. I will see you guys in the next video.